All of my people pleasers come to the front because I am here to let you know that your people pleasing journey does not end when you say no. It is actually just beginning. All right, let's get into it. Understand that when it comes to people pleasing, having a script and or just saying no is a great start. Okay, I'm not going to undermine that. However, that's not where it ends. If you think that, oh well, I'm finally saying no, I'm finally not doing, I'm finally not sacrificing myself. And again, great job. It's just that this is only the beginning. It's not the end. Okay. If you don't have a tight grasp on why you people please, there is a chance that you can easily slip back into it, or you may not realize that you are still subconsciously people pleasing throughout your life. All right. And even if you have gotten a good concept on why, when you've been people pleasing for so long, there's still going to be some residue in there. All right. And saying no is not, saying no does not clear out that residue, because there will be certain instances where you won't be able to say no. See, we all know about the manipulation tactics that come with saying no. So someone asks you, oh, hey, can you pick my sister up from the hospital? And you're like, no, well, no, I can't really do that. And you don't explain, because again, we don't over explain anymore. All right. Unfortunately, I'm unable to do that. No explanation. And here comes the guilt trip. Oh, well, I really wanted to pick her up, but I have somewhere to be, and she's just going to be all by herself for maybe 5, 6 hours, so I just really need somebody to get there. Like, she's so lonely and she gets scared by herself, so I just really needed somebody to pick her up. The guilt tripping. The guilt tripping, sometimes it can be the intimidation tactics. Um, it can be the tit for tat. Well, I did this for you. Like, I feel like a lot of us can grasp that concept of manipulation after saying no, right? But something that can really slip by a lot of us, especially if we are still sticking to a script, or we think just saying no will suffice, it is the people who do not even give you the opportunity to say no. All right. People who try to persuade you to do something without asking, because you can't say no to a question that wasn't asked. All right. And again, this is how the residue of people pleasing comes in. They're persuading you to complete a task for them. They're using guilt. They're guilt tripping before they even ask you. Like, they're painting this whole scenario, trying to play on your emotions before even asking a question, or not even just asking a question. It's the coercion that they do, right? They create situations where consent wasn't even required. Okay. So let's get into a personal example regarding me. I attempted to befriend this woman, and she did not have her driver's license. It was assumed from the jump by her that I would be the designated driver, that I would drive her around everywhere. I was not asked, she did not ask me if I was okay with it. It was just automatically, she just felt entitled to my car because she didn't have her license. Okay. Now, a particular scenario that was kind of a double whammy for me, looking back and realizing how manipulated I was, right? There was a concert that we got tickets to, and the concert was closer to me Now, in regards to her situation, she did live far. She was way out the way, 40 minutes over and over an hour in traffic. All right, so it wasn't a small little distance to drive to pick her up and go to the venue, right? Now, this was our third time meeting up. And so closer to the concert, I'm asking her, I'm like, hey, how are you getting to the concert? Because I'm unable to pick you up. So, I was asking her, and her response was, oh, man, well, my friend's car is still out of commission, and then my boyfriend got into an accident. I can give you gas money if need be. Now, me still being the very still newbie former people pleaser, I'm still very new at this. I was like, okay, well, I can see what I can do. I'll see maybe if I can get off early, and I'll let you know. Trying to over accommodate. And again, this is so automatic, and I'm not even realizing the situation. So let's unpack this for a second. There were two instances in which I wasn't responding from a place of power, a place of standing in my boundaries, right? Again, for me, I was just still no, I can't do that, and that's it. I haven't really mastered the arts of actually saying that something is not suitable for me. Okay. So the first problem was she told me, she's like, oh, well, I can give you gas money if need be. That wasn't a question. She wasn't asking me a question. Her saying, oh, I can give you gas money was pretty much insinuated. Oh, you come and pick me up and I'll give you gas money. Like it was an incentive, right? Like I was supposed to come and pick her up and then she'll give me gas money. And that's her, way of reciprocating. Okay. That really got to me because it's like, well, I already knew in my head that it didn't work for me. And which is why at that time I was still trying to over accommodate. When in reality, gas money or not, it does not work for me. For me to drive way out the way to come and get you. Okay. So that's number one. Number two, something that dawned on me as well that I didn't realize until a while later. The fact that I even asked her how she was getting to the venue was another red flag for me because it's like, why am I making it my responsibility for her to get to this venue like she's a child, like she's my dependent? Mind you, this woman was older than me. Why am I over here trying to figure out and trying to scramble around and trying to help her when she's not my responsibility. She's grown as hell. That didn't dawn on me until a while later either because it's like, damn. So I'm over here worrying about how she's going to get to the concert as if that's my problem when technically it's not. And then secondly, the fact that she really just assumes, and again, we never discussed me always driving her around. The fact that she just assumed that if she offered me gas money, then I'm supposed to pick her up. Okay. But in the end, I knew that it wasn't going to work because I did kind of wake up, a little partial wake up. So the turnout pretty much was I told her, hey, come to my house and we can ride to the concert together. That's what makes it easy for me. Notice how my consent was bypassed with, I'll give you gas money. I'll give you something if you do this. And her making it seem like she was just so helpless that she wasn't, because she couldn't get a ride from her family, that she would have no way to get there. It's like, chick, yes you do. You can hop your ass in an Uber just like she did. And she could have hopped and went right to the concert. Or to my house, and when she did, and I'm saving her money. Okay? But again, it was also really the point of how this particular situation really programmed me to believe that she was just so helpless that if I didn't give her a ride that she would just be SOL, and that is not the truth at all. And this is why sometimes you really have to assess the situation and not so much automatically jump into it. Because again, it's going to be automatic. You may have gotten rid of your people pleasing consciously, but again, it's still there subconsciously. Like, it's still there. And it's an automatic response to say, oh, I'll help you do this, I'll help you do that, especially when you have someone who goes out of their way to feign helplessness, to feign like, I don't know what I would do if you don't help me. So yes, you have to really be careful about people who will bypass your no, bypass any type of choice, any any type of free will. They will try to bypass your free will and make it appear that you don't have any other choice but to help them. And this can be just really annoying, especially if again, you're still a newbie and you're still trying to work your way into saying more than no, but work your way into being firm and like, I am unable to do this. I am not available for this. It can be difficult, especially if they keep pressing and you're still not at that point where you feel totally comfortable. Maybe your body is reacting to their guilt trips or their intimidation tactics and you feel yourself caving in. It's going to take practice. And let me just say this, it's going to take practice. Like for me, again, I was still a newbie former people pleaser. So I was unaware. I was very unknowingly still trying to over accommodate myself. And that's, again, that's not something that I realized until after the relationship ended. But one thing that I do know, if you take a step back and reevaluate your relationships, and if you're around someone and you just feel like every time their name pops up on your phone, you feel dread or your body just reacts, that's letting you know something, because our body will tell us things before our mind catches up. And that's how I felt about her, and that's how the relationship ended. So how do we combat this? How, as newbie former people pleasers, we combat this? Well, I would say this. I completely understand that there are things that you may not no longer want to do, like listening to trauma dumps or just going out of your way, being over accommodating, etc., etc. But it's really just not enough to try to attempt to decide what you will and won't do when it's presented to you. Something that is important is that you need to know everything, well, majority of everything that you will not tolerate and that you will not do up front. So my suggestion is take a minute, take several minutes, okay? Get a notebook, get a journal. Write down everything that drains you. Write down everything that you will no longer tolerate. Write down everything that frustrates you, that you don't want to do, because we are stepping into our selfish era, okay? We're not doing anything that we don't want to do. Write down your needs. Okay, so do that and then write down your needs. What do you need from people? What do you need from relationships, jobs, whatever? Write it all down. Write down what do you need. You have to ask yourself that. Every single thing that you need. And I say you mostly know everything because as you continue to live life, the list will probably adjust, right? Like sometimes you'll put something that's a deal breaker and then you say, oh, I'm okay with this. And then you might move it to, like the wants, or there may be something you thought you needed, but you realize you can live without. And then, it fluctuates, right? Because this is life. Life is unpredictable. But it's very, very important. Sit down and write everything that you need. Okay? Everything. It might feel uncomfortable at first. I know it will, because you're like, damn, no one has really cared about my needs. But you know why that is? It's because you've never cared about your needs. Okay, so you gotta start caring today. All right. Right now, as you're listening to this video, you need to start caring about your needs. Because being selfish is not a one size fit all. Being selfish sometimes is very healthy, especially if your life force is being taken away from you being so selfless. That's so noble. That people think it's just so noble. You're so selfless. You always sacrifice yourself. Yeah, right. But no, it's very important. Write down your deal breakers. Write down your needs. They can be one and the same, but just write down everything. that brings you joy, everything that you won't tolerate. Okay. And once you do that, read it every single day. Read it before you go to bed, first thing when you wake up in the morning, twice a day, however much, if you want to carry it around with you, because the list can grow. If it's a small list right now because you really don't know what you need, because you've been abandoning yourself for so long, if a small list, take it with you. But you need to read that every day. So the next time somebody approaches you, anytime somebody persuades you to complete a task that you did not agree with, you can automatically remember your list. Your list will be imprinted in your brain, or you can just pause and straight up say it with your chest that you're not doing it. For me, I'll be straight up and I'll be direct. I'm like, hey, I didn't agree to that. Okay. Or I need to be involved with decisions. I need to be considered in decisions that involve me. Never let anyone try to convince you to do something that you didn't agree to because you want to be nice. Oh, well, I'm already here. I might as well do it. No, if you don't want to do it, address it head on. Because 9 times out of 10, that person will back off. And again, if they guilt trip you, again, just say, I said what I said. Say some form or whatever variation of, I said what I said. Walk away, cut them off, do whatever. Okay. But we grown. For a lot of us, we're grown. And even if you are a teenager, you're on your way. But you still have that rights and that authority because in that autonomy, because this is your life. All right. So yes, I want to thank you so much for listening to this video. I really do hope that helped. If you are interested in hearing more from me, please click the like button and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.